early Wednesday morning, well, early-ish, and we're just replacing the rear knuckles on Poly. I've had a bit of wobble in the back bearings. I think the knuckles are actually wallowed out in where the bearing sits, and it's causing the actual bearing to move inside the carrier rather than the bearing being bad. So we're just swapping them. They'd probably run for a race, but rather not have wobbly back wheels while I'm going as fast as I can. So yeah, one more round left, British Championship, and that's at a track I really like, which is GG Grangewood. It's really fast, really fast, and it suits me down to the ground. So like I say, rear knuckles getting done. As always, signature copper slip on all the bolts, because you don't want them seizing in there. Checking all my DP pads over as well. No doubt, I mean, look, plenty of meat left on them. They've not even really got going yet. I've still have that engine oil leak issue, so taken the sensor out and sealed that back up with a bung, like on the originals. Then I had a leak on this valve cover gasket, so I've replaced the gasket and properly engine sealed it like you meant to in the book. Other than that, just been playing around with the intake setup, which is over there on the shelf. That's why the brackets are on my ECU. These are just mock-ups, they're not going to look that shitty. But yeah, just getting the prep in now. Just want it done, dusted and finished, ready to roll. I do have a leak on my suspension, unfortunately. I don't know how that's happened, but I'll get it sent off to TFX and they'll probably just put a new seal in it, probably a new O-ring. It's just leaking out the adapter. Might even just need tightening up, but I don't mess with suspension. I'm not a suspension guy. I'll play with the settings and everything, but I'm not taking it apart. What else? Yes, brake bias. So these brakes feel brilliant. However, they're not biting fully. They're not giving you that. I mean, these go on road superbikes like your BMW S1000s and your Ducatis and your Yamaha R1. So these things should stop you. They should make this thing do a stoppie, really. And I think that is down to, so let me peel it out of the way, this variable ratio. So I think I've got it turned to the wrong side, so I'm going to tighten it as far as I can. See if I can get more pressure out of it. See if it'll give them that bit more bite. But every time you do that, you've got to re-bleed them. For some reason, or what I found, I've got to anyway. And then I'm going to try and lower these, bleed them, lower the pots down a bit, get some more clearance in. I think that's about it on my list. I've checked the oil. Just need to nut and bolt check it other than that. And give it a final wash over, plastics back on. Like I say, I do need to swap the shocks. I'll be going back to my Peps for this last round. Just because of that leak. Other than that, they're set up really well. Set up really well they are. But they just need a service really. Well, I got them used, didn't I, from what came on Poly. What else is there? Power steering issue. A friend of mine in the US, Chris, looked inside one of these and we think we can get replacement parts. So I'm going to take the other one apart that went wrong at round 3 at Wadden and see if I can get that. See what's wrong with it basically. Because the assist in that is a lot better than the assist in this, so the steering's quite heavy on this at the moment. It's nothing unmanageable or unbearable at all, but I'd rather have it lighter than not. Obviously, pushing something heavy around for 2.5 hours versus something light makes a fair difference on fatigue. Other than that, so one round left, like I say. I'm going to do a bit of an America rundown on just featuring things like what it cost us to get out there, what we did while we were out there, whether it's worth going, and that's an obvious yes, and bits and bats like that. The only thing I'm going to ask is if whoever's watching this in the UK, if you know anywhere to ride over winter or the off-season, please let me know. Whether it's motocross tracks that don't have the most jumps and things like that, I am desperate for bike time, for seat time, anywhere. Whether it's a farm, just running up and down a field, or a bit of woodland preferably. I just need some bike time, so that's the one thing we don't have. Every Tom, Dick and Harry we race against seems to have a farm, or their best mate's auntie's goldfish owns a motocross track or something like that, so I do need somewhere to practice, because that's what I lack on his bike time. We still have a starting issue with this, I'm really struggling to get it bottomed out. I know it's not the starter because it starts fine. For example, like, when you click the button, it just clicks, and it is that clicking issue that I was in a video before. But if I bridge the two terminals with a screwdriver, it starts up straight away. So it's not the starter motor. I think it's a loose connection or a short somewhere. But I'm trying to figure out what it is. So I might get around to bottoming that out. I may not before the end of the season, but try my best. Other than that, I'll get this knuckle back together and kick off from there. I say it in every video, but I do need to tidy this garage. I've just got empty space all over and things just left everywhere. I have a whiteboard over there which is just covered in stuff, but that's going to get cleared off, and I'm going to actually put a list of things I need to do. For example, like, I've got 2 axle boots that need doing up there. I've got a stem that needs straightening. I've got at least 6 axle boots in the drawer on some -1 axles that need doing for the other bike. Got 2 punctures behind me that need doing. Yeah, the list keeps growing of just casualties throughout the season. You just put them to one side and put your spare parts on and never get around to them. So it's on the list to do. And last but not least, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's supported me this year. Sponsors, anybody who's just said hello and everything like that. It really does make a difference. It makes you feel welcomed in the sport. So thank you if you've even said well done. That's really nice of you. So I'll get back to you when I've done this knuckle. She's done, back together, pretty much ready to race. Just need to put the plastics on. Swap back to the peps, like I said, because I've got a leak on the TFX. The only issue is these J-Parts arms weren't designed with the pep shocks in mind. So that's where it's sitting really low at the back. But it should be fine. I mean, I've bumped up the preload quite a lot. So yeah, she's ready to go. Next one's in, never stops here. So that's it for a bit of a update on where we are. Like I say, I've got a bit of a video to do on racing in the US. I've been having some thoughts as well. Probably back to PDV next year, what she was built for. Show them boys on the Scrambler how to do it, potentially.